First impressions of the Xiaomi 17 Pro Max. It feels nice in the hand. It feels very flat, not as nice as the predecessor. This is the 15 Pro. The 15 Pro is a little bit slimmer, I think. This is a bit wider here. For sure, it has almost 7-inch kind of display. This is 6.7 inch, 6.9 inch here. And it feels a bit wider on the 17 Pro Max, but also like bulkier because everything is like flat. Where this here has at least a curve here on the screen and the same a little bit of a curve here on the back when it comes to the edge. Where here, it is not. It's a hard edge. Here as well, a hard edge. And no, it's definitely a bit bulkier here than here. Honestly, I like the 15 Pro better than the 17 Pro Max when it comes to the in-hand feel. Well, let's turn this bad boy on. Camera bump here. Yes, it's not protruding more than the old one. It's just that this one has a back display as well, where this one doesn't. But therefore we have a way better ultra wide angle than this little tiny guy that probably is a lot worse than this. But I have to test it to figure it out. HyperOS 3 is booting up here. Here I also have HyperOS 3 on. As you see here, this is HyperOS 3 on the 15 Pro that arrived already. Let's go with English here. Let's connect to my Wi-Fi and set it up. And as I'm a bit lazy here, transfer from old device is what I want to do. So I have the 15 Pro here. I want to transfer all the data over. So I say transfer from old device. Click on yeah, click on agree, say Xiaomi device. So connecting all the dots. I think it stopped recording midway because it's another Xiaomi device. So I have to enter this pin code here. And then it's connecting those two, and I can transfer all my data from the 15 Pro to the 17 Pro Max. Makes life a little bit easier when it comes to testing. Of course, I will also try it out as a clean one, but I can choose also what to transfer over. For example, I don't want images or audio video documents to be put over, but third-party app data and so on. This I want to, and some items might not be transferred. I don't turn off switch Wi-Fi, blah, 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 send over. And now it's sending over all the data. Very nice system that allows you to do this. The only thing is, like when you're recording video with the Xiaomi 14 Ultra, for example, what I'm doing here right now, it stops recording when it goes into this mode where it asks, hey, where are you? And now it's transferring over the data, and hopefully I have then a device I can try out. Meanwhile it's doing this, I can show you the case that comes with the 17 Ultra. This is like in comparison to the 15 Pro, which uses a TPU one. I like this in the hand feeling a little bit more, even though it's a very soft one. More sturdy, and what you see or hear as rattling are the buttons here. Yes, they have extra buttons there. But it's a sturdy clear case and with a large, huge opening at the bottom, so it will not disturb anything. So let's put it in here. And let's let it transfer the data over. Xiaomi logo on the back, raised lips for sure, the buttons nice, clickable, protecting the back display, but not the bottom here, as you see. The bottom has no protection, which is a bit weird. It's like lowered there. Here it's raised, even like raised a little bit more. You can see here, there's a plateau. It's getting a bit higher there. Here's a bit lower again to protect the camera. That's a weird shape for sure. Protecting a little bit the display there. Well, and here it is like completely open. Well, not sure what to think about that in terms of protection. I think I like the old case a little bit better, just like the old device. Old case here. It's original case, very bumpy, very, yeah. Also protecting here the camera bump, but also protecting a little bit the display there. And I'm feeling this a little bit better than this. Feels a little bit more plasticky and cheap in comparison to this solid kind of grip. But yeah, you have to choose your poison. Another thing, while I'm still transferring, you can see that the thickness barely has changed at all with those two, like 8 and 8 point something millimeters. Not measured on the thickest point there. but they managed to cramp in a way larger battery. Here it was already with 6,100 milliampere hours last year, pretty strong, but 7,500 milliampere hours. I'm very excited to see how well this is playing out. But with the larger screen, a little bit brighter display, like 3,500 nits instead of 3,100 nits, and a back display, I could imagine that the runtime here is maybe a little bit better only than on the 15 Pro, maybe even equal, but I have to see in my day-to-day tests. And you can see, yeah, it is almost done here, 95% in transferring over. I will, of course, show you what has been transferred over, so which kind of apps did not transfer over. I could expect F-Droid, for example, or some open source apps not been transferred over. If the wallpaper, the settings have been transferred over, the Wi-Fi and so on, if you have to relog in, such things, probably you have to relog in, but we never know. Especially Telegram, such things, they have nice features where they just move everything over and they are logged in already. So 100% now, transfer successfully done. This phone can go away, and then we see what it's doing now here on the 17 Pro Max. So now everything has been transferred, all set up, and I can view the report or go to next. I just go to next. Could enable Xiaomi Cloud. In this case, I don't want Xiaomi Cloud, so don't use this. Continue, and I have the possibility to configure my lock screen, only lock screen of fingerprint. We have the possibility to use an under-display fingerprint scanner, which is of the ultrasonic kind. Very, very nice under-display scanner. I have to set a pin up. Sorry, there we go, pin up. And then, yeah, just this is the way you enter the new area, the new era. Just by doing this, and your fingerprint is scanned in. Very, very nice. The optical ones were fine as well, but this is good. So full gestures, vertical one. I can configure this here, vertical or horizontal. Very interesting. And preparing setup complete, all set. Let's go. And yeah, it looks like it has taken over the same setup that I had here on my 15. Just that the, even F-Droid has been transferred over. Data, AIDA, Antutu. Oh, nice. Same setup. Not much of a difference between those two. Very nice. Even this here, let's see if we are logged in. Oh, we're not logged in here. Very nice. So some apps are logged in, some other apps you have to log in again. Let's do whether I have to like configure for sure. The rest here of the apps, same layout. I'm impressed. Okay, this one translate app is missing there, but otherwise it has taken over everything. It's very, very nice indeed. So yes, the transference from one Xiaomi device to another device, at least on these Chinese models, is working splendid. Checking out the system, of course, this device here got an update 307.170, and we have an update already available. And if you click on it, you will see that this is a service update for sure. 3020 it is, 65 megabytes only, and it's fixing some stuff. So let me do a screenshot with 3-finger swipe. This is what I usually do before I install an update. I can agree here, added the screenshot to my liking, but I will download the update, of course, and test all my stuff with this newest update here for sure. I know now why they left this side here open, because you're swiping all the time up for the multi-gestures and to multitask around, and if this is open, it's not sticking. Like when I go in one app and want to go back, it's a little bit like the resistance that you have there by swiping back here. Something went wrong here on ChatGPT. Do we have ChatGPT issues? I don't think we have ChatGPT issues. I just have to log in back, I think. Something went wrong. Maybe I have to clear the cache of this one here, because it transferred over the data, and or I even have to delete the clear data here, clear all data, for it to work again. So someone was asking me to try it out because he has almost always issues. Check that Google Play is enabled on your device and that you're using an up-to-date version before opening the app. If the problem persists, try reinstalling the app. So So okay, let's try reinstalling ChatGPT, get rid of it, uninstall, and do it, and I will tell you if this is working or not. So after reinstalling ChatGPT, it is working nicely. So make sure if you have issues with ChatGPT, just don't transfer over ChatGPT or delete it and install it with the newest Play Store that you have installed here. And it should work. I can sign up or I can log in now. It's also possible here to log in. So after setting up, this is how it looks like. And one thing that I noticed immediately on first try is those buttons here. They were already a little bit loud when I was putting this, I had this case in my hand. I'm not sure if you hear it. They're very clicky, even if I just swipe over them. Very plasticky and cheap. I think if I really want to keep this device, I have to get a new case, because this case, as fine as this is here with the swipe gestures and area, not my best. When it comes to typing in something, let's go into Google and try to type it. I noticed really that this is a bit wider, so typing on this keyboard is a little bit easier than on the 15 Pro, for example. It was great on the 15 Pro, and the feedback here with the motor, the haptic motor, is very nice. Xiaomi is very, very good there with this. Let's check out the display. Refresh rate is set to default. Let's set it to highest because we have it, so we're not using it. Yes, the update is there. And what about, that's it? There's no the resolution I cannot set. Okay, very smooth indeed. HyperOS 3, I already showed you a video. If you're not seen it yet, just check there or there, somewhere there in a link there is, or in the description there's a link to the HyperOS 3 video on the 15 Pro. Very nice indeed. And yeah, I'll install the update now and tell you more about this camera setup and the display on the back. 50, 50, 50, 50. So the back screen shows me double tap to wake and learn about the rear display. So let's do it. Hopefully it's a tutorial. Yes, swipe right to go and open up the camera. Swipe to the left from the edge to go back to this. Press and hold to switch between different watch faces in this case. Standbys. Which one I would like? I think this is the stylish one. Shows the time, and I can swipe from top to bottom to see notifications. I don't have any. And go to the camera. I have to grant access to it. Grant other permissions there. Agree. It's the first time opening up the camera. This is why. Watermark download. Okay. Watermarks have to be downloaded now. What is it doing? Just open up the camera, please. Ooh, this nice animation. We saw that already from earlier devices, but still nice to see. And it gives you more news like supermoon shots in photo mode, Ultra HD in photo mode, and rear display preview. Okay, open up the camera. So this is the camera. The more section is down below. Doesn't feature so much more actually, because the rest is like swipe away. Like this is a bit minimalistic there, but acting very fast. Let's show the video mode, still 1080p 30 as default. Yeah, we can go 4K on all lenses. We can also go 4K 120 frames per second, but then only on 1x and 5x. And 60 is available on all. This is cool. 8K is only available on the main lens, as you see there, with a bit of a bummer. But 4K 30 I think is fine. And I can go also front-facing camera, 4K, and 4K 60 is the max that I can go there. But as I'm recording 4K 30, this makes sense. I can swipe down to go to settings here. Can set things up, like I want the watermark for photos for sure. And I'm choosing the default one. I like that the most. Then somewhere in selfie settings, I don't want mirror front camera. This is why I turn it off. And I like this. What do they have there? Smart aperture for group photos. So apparently it doesn't have a variable one, but doing some magic there for group photos. Probably for the bokeh mode. So video encoder is correct. The audio settings can be set up here. I leave it by the default. Dolby Vision turned off, motion tracking focus turned off, adaptive telephoto is okay, and auto frame rate, yes, it's okay. Display parameters for video like focus speaking can be turned on, and exposure verification as well as histogram and waveform. And audio Instagram, this is only available in I think Pro mode, and some general settings there. I like to have grid lines and straighten and preserve the settings, feature layout, and so on. So we have all the settings that we had in earlier versions. We can quickly jump to the portrait mode here. Do we notice much of a difference here? We can jump here between 28, 24 and 35, and here 75 as well, and 45 or 49, and the 5x can be, it's only 5x and it's the maximum, so 115 millimeter there as the maximum. Yeah, we have master portrait, we have Leica master portrait or Leica portrait style. Here we have beautifier, I turn it off of course. We have some filters as well. They have to make it more readable. I almost did not see this because it's like white background there. So filters there as well, where I can set up Leica Vivid, Leica Natural and so on as filters, which is pretty nice for portrait shots for sure. And we have a virtual aperture that we can set up, as well as the possibility to have a specific bokeh here, bokeh style, which is quite nice. Yeah, not bad, not shabby. Document scanner is in here as well. We can scan some documents. We have the video mode. We have the Pro mode for video as well. So you can set up here 4K 60. There you go. 4K 60. Do we have something else like lock mode? Yes, lock mode works in 4K 60. Does it work in? Doesn't work in 120. Only 60 frames per second lock mode. And yeah, the aspect ratio here is full screen or 16:9. Multicam setup is available here as well. And pretty much everything that we have here. And we have LUTs that we can apply. Those LUTs are just applied for the preview. They're not baked into the video file. And I can record on all lenses here. Whoa. Ultra wide angle already when I switch to it gives me goosebumps in terms of like quality. The 5x is okay, but the ultra wide angle, oh boy, this would be interesting to see. Anyway, I will go now outside, shoot a little bit videos there outside and take some shots, and will tell you a little bit more about the 17 Pro Max. We start off with the front-facing camera of the Xiaomi 17 Pro Max, 4K 30 frames per second recording here, and I see already a very nice new feature. Do we have much of HDR going on? Looks like overexposed. Is it really overexposed? It is not, because it's a grayish kind of day. What you notice is I have the default face exposure on, which looks a little bit suboptimal. I know Technotin, for example, very nice channel by the way. If you did not subscribe to him, subscribe. He has very nice side-by-side comparison. I don't even know how to do this. Probably you have to have an extra program to make it super white. Anyway, he has very nice videos there. Had it also and noticed this as well. One tip I can give you: don't use the default face metering. Switch to average metering. And I will show you in a second how this is done. And with this done, you'll see the exposure jump that we had before, making my face a little bit weird looking on the 17 Pro Max, is gone. Yes, so it has also a relevance for video, and it's way better because it's not doing this weird shit with the face anymore. But nevertheless, I'm here in my garden. What I want to show you right now is the back-facing camera. And for the first time for Xiaomi that I know of, I don't have to stop recording. I can just switch recording. And I want to perform a little test, because I know this from Vivo, I know this from Huawei, I know this from Honor, I know this even from Samsung that has this ability. There's always a delay in terms of audio. So count with me to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, hopefully all the numbers from 1 to 7 are now included here. Look at the bokeh, very nice leaf here. Focusing, 101.28 inch size sensor, large aperture, should be no issue. Switching to the ultra wide angle, do you notice the difference? Whoop, 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 whoop. I think the lens switching is something that Xiaomi should still tune, because Oh, it looks a bit weird. Anyway, focusing nice and close without any issues. We can also zoom in 2x, nice bokeh with the main camera for sure, and even go 5x, which the transition from 2x to 5x is much nicer than the one to the ultra wide angle, which you definitely notice. So bad! Xiaomi, come on, fix that. It's also the positioning of the ultra wide. It's an afterthought, this ultra wide angle, I think. And then we can even go, is there a spider net? Let's go to NX. Yes, there's a spider net. Ooh, very nice. Anyway, so this is possible, and back to the front-facing camera. So yes, you have the ability now to switch between the front-facing and the back-facing cameras. Very nice for vlogging. There's a flower still. Survived somehow. Let's try to zoom in on. And nice bokeh with the 5x. This little flower there. See, let's go 5x. Ooh. It has, I have to go step it a bit back, but it's very, very nice in terms of like macro-like capabilities. 10x. Every detail. If there would be an insect on it, you would see it. Talking about the insect, there is one just here in my hand. It's a bit hard to focus, is it? But yeah, this is what you can do with the Xiaomi 17 Pro Max in terms of videography. I will take some photos now. It's just a first impression, but video one looks nice if you don't calculate in the ultra wide angle. But let's try vlogging style with the back facing camera. And I think, can I switch during recording? I don't think I can switch during recording to the back facing display. Let's do it just to see if it works. So I did a thing now where I tapped on show me on the back facing camera the camera interface, and with a tap I can apparently start recording, but now I have it here and I have it on the other side on, so both displays are on right now. For sure both displays are on, but all the controls are on the other side. Interesting for sure, because sometimes you probably want to film someone that wants to see himself. If you are the cameraman, you are not very good at it, and your significant other is telling you how to do it better. This is probably the mode for you. But I want to have the full camera control on the back, because then I think it makes sense to have it as vlogging camera. So let's try this out. So it's interesting, it's telling me to show my palm to start recording or stop recording or take a shot, but apparently it's not working for start or stop recording. But I have now all the user interfaces here, and on the other side is a black screen. So keep that in mind. Do we have any stutters? Because if it's only this one screen, no issue. If you have both screens on, like I had on my Huawei Pura X, there was a bit of an audio delay there recording 4K. Now 4K 30 frames per second here on this one shouldn't be any issue. But as soon as I start recording, I don't see the button for zooming out anymore. Can I zoom in? Zooming out? Ah, I can apparently zoom out. But I don't have a button for this. A bit weird. Double tap? Double tap is just changing focus. I don't want to change focus. 1x, 2x, 3x. If you want to show your eyes, 5x maximum here, you can do so. But why there's no button to directly go? Oh, now I'm changing exposure. Yeah, this small screen, it's a bit hard. Underexposed. Why is no direct button? There's a direct button before I start recording. Ultra wide angle. Anyway, ultra wide angle here. It's a bit cumbersome, I have to say. This is where I would struggle already when you want to do this kind of landscape video. Portrait video probably has a bit more real estate, but landscape video is very, very small. It's almost as small as, you know, this Huawei P50 Pocket that has this 1-inch little tiny screen. It's a tiny bit larger than this if you have it in landscape mode. If you have it in portrait, probably it's working a little bit better, but you're not always recording portrait, are you? So right now, vlogging cam, yeah, for sure, tiny little screen for check if you're really vlogging. but controlling stuff, well, forget about it. It's just too small. It's like even smaller than those action cameras that have a little bit larger displays there and are orientated the right way. So yeah, perfect vlogging cam. We have to find out probably in a different review. But now let's check out some photos. So first impressions, first shots with the Xiaomi 17 Pro Max. It doesn't feel right to say that. Anyway, main camera sensor bokeh looks nice and detailed. It's a bit over sharpened for sure, but bokehlicious there, the bokeh. Brightening things up a little bit. If you go to Leica Authentic, you can see, yeah, it is brightening things up even more, but this here looks a bit more correct, but this is just also too overexposed there. And it's getting a less sharp because it's not so much over sharpening. Then the ultra wide angle, where I was expecting the worst, it's not performing too shabby, I would say. Straight lines everywhere. Look at this sitting, how's it called? Sitting chair, sitting sofa outside the thing. You know what I mean, this one. Look at this and just keep it in mind. Yes, some might puke now because of the little bit over sharpening going on there, but towards the sides, it's not getting too soft, not too distorted there, the ultra wide angle. I think also with HDR, because it's a cloudy day, it's doing a fine job there. So not much of a difference there. I think this was like, either I shot in Leica Authentic with this one, but I don't see the, is that typical vignetting? Maybe a little bit. Because when I switch to the main now, I cannot imagine switching now to Leica Vivid because it's so vivid. So either user error or Xiaomi, please write down if I recorded or captured the shot in Leica Authentic or Leica Vivid next time. Anyway, this is the main camera. You can see how vivid it is, but it is doing weird shit. First of all, here, the sitting area, why is it not straight anymore? So OIS kicking in and stitching failed or something. A bit weird. Definitely too punchy, the colors there for sure. And towards the sides, you can see it's getting even softer than the ultra wide angle. So I'm a bit disappointed on this first shot here with the main camera sensor. It's a bit too soft towards the edges there. Yeah, the color is like, because it's vivid. Macro capability with the 5x lens. This is 5x. It's not the sharpest for sure, but it's doing a fine job. It's a bit overexposed, I think, still. If you zoom in a little bit further, 10x, you can see the real color of the flower. The exposure is much nicer. Detail, however, is not much nicer. It can go to 30x, but then digital cropping and so on makes it appear very sharp, and it's a bit darker even. But when you go in, it's not really, yeah, detail that we have there. Anyway, selfie, talking about sharpening things up. Wow, be prepared. It's so sharp, everything sharpened to oblivion. It's just way too sharp. I mean, it's not doing a bad job there, but it's just too sharp. The detail levels are probably already there, but why, you can see, this is like a bit softer. Why sharpening every detail of my face up? I look ugly. And then the portrait mode is doing it a bit better. First of all, the hair cutouts, I don't think they are the best, but they're not bad. But then it has like, as if it took this over sharpened shot and softening it a little bit up kind of effect. It's just, you know, looking very nice and pleasant. So it looks a little bit like a painting, but as soon as you zoom out, it's okay. So yes, I improved the selfie cam, and I think you saw a little bit of bokeh here as well because it has autofocus, which I forgot to mention. So very nice selfie upgrade there, but the processing needs a bit of work still. Then yeah, Timmy doing his business there with the portrait shot. Nice foreground blur, nice background blur as well. And yes, I think he finished just doing his thing. And yes, the focal plane kind of thing is struggling hard, but getting into shot, and you can get such shots with the portrait mode. Then another portrait mode shot with 5x, but you can see it has some focus on the leaves there instead of Timmy. And here 2x, this one finally focused on Timmy, and this looks nice because the main camera sensor is the best. And at 2x, it's doing a fine job. Even the cutouts of the fine little hair, it's doing very, very nice here. And even though it is not optimized for dogs, yeah, I know, but it is working as well. Then we come to a zoom shot comparison. And this is, remember, Leica Vivid. By the way, portraits in master mode. So not the Leica portraits. And 17 Pro Max, 5x, okay, a bit over sharpened for sure. Way too bright here. It's just like overexposed. The same issue we had with the 15 Ultra. again here with the 17 Pro Max, it's just overexposed for some reason. I don't know why they're making it so bright. This one as well, it is, you see, this is even brighter. See how the red changes, and then it's the same sensor, same lens. It's just like 10x, and it's a different red than this one here. Look, it's this. I'm not sure what's going on there with the color calibration, but Xiaomi has to work on this. This looks at least a bit more realistic than this here, which is way too bright. And detail levels for 10x shot are okay, but it is artificial for sure. It is the limit. I would not go in even further, even though I'm doing it 30 times there. Don't. Then I switched to Leica Authentic, and some will say, thanks God he switched to Leica Authentic. And Leica Vivid is for some reason turned on by default. I would then like to go to the Leica Authentic and embrace the Authentic instead of the Vivid one, make the Vivid optional. Nice details that you can see of the main camera sensor, nice bokeh, a bit busy bokeh. We have a smaller kind of sensor there, but the aperture is quite large. So it is working okay, I would say. It's natural bokeh, it's not artificial bokeh. And then you can see I lowered the EV, minus 0.7 EV. Maybe a bit too much, maybe minus 0.3 would be working better. But this is the wall that I saw with my own eyes in terms of exposure, in terms of colors. Yes. This is 2x, you can see the detail levels are okay, but a bit soft. And this is 3x, same minus 0.7 EV. It's a bit brighter there, you can see it's brighter, but it's still way better in terms of colors there. Detail levels, way more natural because it's not sharpening things up so much. I like that. And then this is 10x, which is doing a little bit more of sharpening than here. It's a bit softer, but still, it is way better than the Leica Vibrant one that I shot before. Like this way better there, a bit more natural looking. And then we have a super macro shot, or just macro mode shot at 5x, and the detail level is the same as with the main one. And if you go to macro mode, then you lose your capability to go to 10x directly. You have to like pinch to zoom, and pinch to zoom is not even working to... Is it working to 10x? I think it was stopping at 1.8x or something like this, which is like from 5x, just not 10x then. This is what I got, best shot. It is a 10x, but yeah, detail level maybe a tiny bit better there on this flower. But why you go to the super macro mode if you can just use the normal photo mode and can get a very similar kind of shot? I did notice that I can get a bit closer with this dedicated macro shot mode. And then dynamic range test with the ultra wide angle that I thought is the weakest. And yeah, this is like authentic. Like authentic by default is like not the best of HDR. Doing a good job. Minus 0.7 EV again, because otherwise it would be overexposed, everything there. So it might be a little bit tweaked HDR shot, but I just forgot to turn it off or to change it. This is like authentic. This is like a Vibrant. See the difference? Like a Vibrant is working nicer for, I think, autumn shots if you want to have more color in your shots. In terms of HDR, look at here. Oops. Look at here, and then look at here. I don't notice much of a difference. So maybe they tuned this HDR on the authentic now to be the same as this. It's just like lifted shadows, yeah, for sure. This vignetting is gone. And a bit more punchy colors for sure. And just for colors, for color's sakes, like our authentic again here, looks nice with minus 0.7. Like I said, it should be minus 0.3 probably, so because it was not that dark, but it's going in the right direction also with the desaturated colors because it's a bit of an older playground for my daughter. And this is the Leica Vibrant one, which is like also with minus 0.7, nicer looking, but still it's just too vibrant. This yellow is just too vibrant. Everything is the green grass is just too vibrant at all. This is more realistic for sure. And then we have Timmy, I like authentic again in action. So the freeze frame, kind of not even speed mode, just like hitting the shutter button at the right time when he's walking, is working fine, and no issues there with this one. It's quite fast with 1/1107 of a second at ISO 50. So yeah, fast moving subjects, probably no issue with the 17 Pro Max. And then 10x here on this spider net that I first discovered, and then there was a spider sitting there. It's a very, very tiny spider, maybe a little bit bigger than my thumb fingernail. And the 10x you can just see it's struggling a bit. You get a little bit of the details there, or little hairs around his legs and so on, but it's not the crispiest that you would get from a Vivo or an Oppo phone there. Vivo even a bit more than an Oppo for that matter. But it's great that we can capture such a shot. But I tell you, I could capture probably this, maybe even with better quality on the 15 Pro from Xiaomi, the last one as well there. So I don't see much of an improvement there so much. Anyway, my first impressions in terms of photography, it's solid. I'm surprised the ultra wide angle is not as trash as I would think. I'm a little bit disappointed by the main camera on first glance there, but I have to compare it with other phones to just tell you more about that. Otherwise, what do you think about the photos here? Let us check the audio quality. Full volume. Pretty loud, and I think also pretty good in terms of audio quality. It's vibrating a little bit on the back there, but we get like almost the same loudness on the left and on the right, which is quite fantastic. So yeah, thumbs up for that. Let's take a look around the device a little bit. Yeah, oh, Dynamic Island, how I missed you. Hyper Island it's called. This is my demo track for the sound test that I had before. I can just swipe it away, I think. There we go, and now you have not a pill anymore, but just a cutout there. So 2D face unlock. Otherwise, the device is running HyperOS 3020, and it's doing a good job. We have the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5, very nice processor here, you can see it. We have 16 gigabytes of RAM with 7,500 milliamp hours of battery, and storage of 528 gigabytes. What? Yeah, because of 16 gigabytes of reserved memory. Yeah, fluid. This device runs fluid. I cannot tell you how good this is here. There are some adjustment issues still. CapCut and some other video editors take a bit of a while to render out videos still, because this one needs to be optimized a little bit more. The benchmark results are a bit behind, 3.5 million instead of 4 million like the newest Honor is doing with the same chip. Might be something with the cooling, might be a little bit with throttling the device a little bit there. Nevertheless, it's a fast device, one of the fastest out there on the market. Don't have any issues with the speed and fluidity, and the operating system itself is, I think, a pretty nice one. They improved HyperOS 3 and it's running very fluid here. It's running good, it's running stable. I did not notice any bugs on my first session with it here right now. Safety net, for some reason I cannot really run the test because it says failed because it cannot access the Google Play services. I'm not sure what's going on there with permissions or something, but Google Wallet doesn't complain about some issues, so I can add my card in here and probably can pay nicely. DRM info is telling me about Widevine level 1 support here, and Netflix tells me about HD, full HD support actually, but no HDR possibilities. So yes, you can at least watch movies and films in full HD. For charging, we really have a charger inside of this Chinese version. 100-watt charging is possible here, wired, but there's also wireless charging. I think 60-watt wireless charging is possible as well, which is, I think, also very, very nice. What is it? 50-watt wireless charging is possible. Let's make it bigger. There we go. If GSM Arena is to believe too, it allows 50-watt wireless charging, which is also quite nice for charging speed here. All in all, the Xiaomi 17 Pro Max, and I'm waiting for a phone with this size for telephoning, because then it has the ideal kind of distance to my mouth. Anyway, Xiaomi 17 Pro Max is a pretty good device. First impressions, pretty good device. But if you come from a 15 Pro Max, 15 Pro, there's not a great reason to switch to this one. 14 Pro, maybe. 13 Pro, 13 Pro had a 1-inch type sensor. It's a camera sensor. The speed, yeah. Display, gimmick on the background, the back, because like I told you, if you hold it like this, you see already that it's like only taking a part of the screen. If you hold it then this, it's even a smaller part of the screen. And when you're recording, there's this nice possibility to switch between the lenses here for photos. But if I go to videos also, but as soon as I hit record, it's gone. I cannot switch the lenses anymore. I have to do it like manually. And it's cumbersome. It's not very useful. So it's a gimmick for now, this display. Yeah, it's useful, usable, I would say. Sometimes useful for seeing yourself, but for controlling and stuff, it has to be a bit larger, a bit bigger. Maybe it should be like this, and make this a little bit bigger as well, but then it's too big. Not stylish anymore. So yeah, best would be like filming like this, making it wide as possible and have like open gate in here. The sensors are able to record 16:9 while recording like this, because then I can hold it like this and record myself without any issues. Record myself without any issues if I'm a bit of a tiny guy. Anyway, so yeah, I'm undecided about this. It's usable and useful in certain situations to take photos for sure. For video, very, very small. It's better than nothing, let's say it like this. So it has some kind of feature, but it's a first gen kind of product, even though it's a second one already. So I expect a little bit more there. But yeah, nevertheless, I think it has some interesting ideas, interesting concepts. And I'm not even recording in 4K, it's 1080p. It has different settings. So the videos that you saw probably are all 1080p. Oh, sorry about that. Only the first one should be 4K because I set up everything here. If you want to switch, by the way, you can just unlock here. It'll show you this, and then you have a slider bar. You can slide on it, and then you are back to the normal camera app. And the same goes to the back here. So if I slide there, and I'm back to this camera app. But the video is in 1080p. Anyway, I'm not sure what to think about it. Actually, it's a good device. I like playing, tinkering with this. They did something, they tried something, made something different, something unique. So give them point for this. But I have to really check it out and compare it with the 15 Pro that is not right. It's living somewhere there on the desk. Because I have the feeling this one here, especially with the downgraded ultra wide angle, not so wide and not so great quality, might be not winning against the 15 Pro in terms of cameras. And then the only thing that we have here is the main camera that might win, and the telezoom that I have my doubts as well. So we have to see. I will compare this with the 15 Pro and with some other devices as well, just to be sure. But for now, it's a solid device for sure. Can I recommend it? With all the other phones, all the other good brands out there, you have to love Xiaomi phones. You have to love this form factor with a bit of wider screen there for sure, and be in the Xiaomi ecosystem. Love HyperOS 3, which I do for sure. But I have another favorite phone manufacturer that has better kind of AI, UIs and AIs than this one here. So it will be hard for me to switch to this one. I think it's a great device anyway. It's a great phone. And if you're interested in this one here in particular with this nice screen, you can find some links down below. If you still want to wait for my camera comparisons, yeah, I will fire them out as quickly as I can, so you have something to judge your basement of if you want to buy this. One thing I can tell you for sure, it doesn't have this camera button crap it's like always blocking and sometimes accidentally pressed. So this might be for you a Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 powered Xiaomi device that runs very smoothly, runs very good, has no issues with overheating so far. It's not the most powerful for sure, but is definitely there on the top of the line. And if you don't want to wait until, what is it, January, February, March, April, for the next thing to come here as global version, probably the 17, not the one with the display there in the back. Get it while it's hot, while it's available still. I don't like this plastic kind of case. It's like the worst case. Xiaomi, you had so great cases the last couple of years, and now this plastic fantastic case, it's not really, feels cheap. Anyway, if you have some questions, write it down in the comment section. Until the next day, until the next time. Bye.